creation of the universe, the consciousness that is existing as the nucleus of the triangular basic principle is the Supreme Father, the basic cognition, the Avidya Shakti that is working with the basic cognition as the operative principle, but is not yet manifested, is called the basic principle. There is no expression in the basic principle, neither physical nor psychic. She is active, but there is no effect or operative nature. The expression does not occur so long as there is proper equilibrium between the basic principle and the basic cognition. When they lose their balance, a theoretical expression takes place as a sequel. In this stage it is called the primordial principle. The primordial principle is something theoretically manifest. It does not fall within the periphery of experience. Due to the equilibrium of Shiva and Shakti, basic cognition and basic principle, but it is theoretically well established. It does not seem proper to attribute to such a state, yet the situation is akin to. There is actional vibration in the basic principle, but due to the absence of any measuring psychic entity, it cannot be said to be temporal, though it is related to the time factor. There does not exist any second entity, brought about due to curvatures in the primordial principle. That is why we do not find another time measuring factor there. This curve is its special characteristic. In the third phase of manifestation, due to internal clash and cohesion, curvatures come into existence. The difference between the vibrational principle and the witnessing counterpart becomes explicit. The vibrational principle is called in Sanskrit Bhavani Shakti. The temporal factor is established in the development of Kala. What is Kala or time? Time is nothing but a psychic measurement of the relative motivity, sadhana. If the vibrational expression is towards the crude, the unit will face retardation. The final or culminating point of retardation contains within it the history of the full expression. In the crudest point of the human mind, therefore, lies the history of its innumerable lives. Even a tumorous stroke will rip open the burden a person is carrying, and make one able to see oneself. The development upwards from the nadir of supreme cognition is progress. So long as the fundamental negativity does not receive a stroke, there does not occur any progress, any development. A seed sprouts forth if struck by light, water and soil. Similarly, when the fundamental negativity of a unit, that is, the Kula Kundalini, receives the stroke of the mantra, it awakens, but so long as the desire to move towards Paramatma is not aroused, this phenomenon does not take place. This does not happen with an animal because of its intellectual deficiency. Matter, due to external and internal clash, is converted into ectoplasm. The crude stuff is metamorphosed into Chaitanya mind atoms, ectoplasmic particles. The intensity of this clash and cohesion depends upon the intensity of internal and external clashes. After the animal mind, the mind that succeeds due to immense physical and intellectual or even intuitional clashes is the human mind, and the body that is associated with it is the human body. Sadhana, the spiritual cult, is a progress from the crudeness of matter to the subtlest entity, that is, a march, a movement from the last point of the vibrational principle to the nucleus of the basic principle, the controlling point of the fundamental triangle of forces. Sadhana is, therefore, a march to the place from where one has come. Those who want to make themselves the attraction or the ideal of the world add a Shri before their names. The term connotes the charming entity, Maya, Prakriti. Supreme cognition is the shelter of Shri, and that is why he is also called Srinivasa in Sanskrit. The movement towards the entity that has sheltered the universe is sadhana. Since humans are weak, they need the aid of some other entity for this movement. From where will they get the stamina, the strength for this movement? Assuredly, it can be had only from the entity that is the source of this stamina, this strength. Whatever stamina, physical, mental, or spiritual, exists within you is not your creation. Can you create anything? No, you cannot. You convert the external energy derived from food, light, water, and soil into vital energy. You cannot create any energy. You can simply convert it into other forms. You convert sound energy, magnetic energy, etc. into vital energy. You then reconvert that vital energy into other forms of energy. While working, you convert your vital energy into sound energy. The moment this vital energy is gone, the living unit turns into a corpse. You drive your vital energy from the external world, a gift of Paramapurusha. Similarly, the strength to move towards the Supreme Father can also be obtained from him, but the tragedy is that you do not ask for spiritual force from him. Your sole concentration is on earning name, fame, money, promotion, prestige, and other such worldly gains. You remain so busy with your worldly desires that you hardly manage to get any time in your daily life to ask for spiritual strength. In ancient times, when the desire to move on the path of spirituality was aroused, human beings felt the need of a guide to show the path. It is this desire that is manifested in the Vedas. When the desire to move on to the path When the desire to move on the path is aroused, he is compelled to come as a guide to the seeker. He cannot just ignore the seeker. Ask the way and you will get it. But it is not enough to get the way, for one also needs to walk on the way, on that way, on that path. The strength to move forward lies within you. The only impediment being the encumbrance of sins that is on your head due to your past actions. Remove that burden. Be light and march on. Bhagavan Lord Buddha said the same thing when he asked his disciples to jettison on the burden that is in the boat. Desire is therefore not enough. One needs to perform some tangible action. That action is called intuitional practice, spiritual cult. This cult is also called Tantra. It is not enough to read books, scriptures. One will have to be practical. Will have to do something in practical life. You need to move from the fundamental negativity to the fundamental positivity. Thus, through sadhana, a person makes himself or herself light, at the same time gets the attraction of him. Furthermore, one needs to surrender oneself completely. Until and unless there is 100% surrender, it is naive to think in terms of accomplishing the task.